Hello there, GB here, and welcome to the Rewind Classic Movies podcast about movies we probably saw as kids, even if we didn't understand the adult themes. With me, as always, co-host. It's only AJ.
It's only me, and we're only in the same room together.
Live in person.
In the same country, amazingly. Like, we've actually managed to see each other. I have had to drive for 2 hours to get here. And in fairness, I mean, that's dedication. I was at the place where I was staying. I was like, do I want to drive 2 hours just to do this podcast? And yet here I am.
The irony is we've been in the same country as each other on other occasions and couldn't be bothered to drive 10 minutes.
I know.
Mainly because you've been in hospital.
Yes, this is true.
But anyway, today we're following on from last week's 1987 Masters of the Universe to look at 2026's Masters of the Universe. We're going to be loose today.
Really loose.
I've
got no
just
script.
seen it. Pretty much.
I've just seen it as well. I saw it at the Regal Cinema in Redruth, which was actually great. Really uncomfortable seats.
It's a Merlin Cinemas, right?
It is indeed.
Love Merlin Cinemas. Our local cinema chain. They're all over the southwest of England.
They are, and also one in over in the west. Over in the east. I want to say Great Yarmouth or.
Oh, not China.
No. Yeah, the Far East. No, but in fairness, they have got a load of really small independent. They're keeping the independent cinema thing going, which is great. I've
They're
got a
brilliant.
lot of time.
I mean, outside of Odeon and View, they're absolutely heroic
and it
for
was
an independent cinema.
£9 a ticket, which I think in the UK is quite unusual these days.
Well, sort of the Odeons and the Views, I think, are about £7.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, so let's talk about Masters. I've been. We should say for the record as well, we're going to talk about non-spoiler things for a couple of minutes, and then we'll dive into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet and you just want a little bit of an overview of our thoughts, here they come.
Are we going to say spoilers from this point?
Yeah, we'll give a clear little line in the sand.
All right, cool.
I'm going to come over a little bit because I'm a bit off screen.
Darling.
Right. I've been very excited about this movie for a couple of reasons. One, Camilla Mendes, my queen, is in it. And two, I love the idea of Masters of the Universe coming back and doing it properly. Yeah. Which this seemed to do from the off.
It's funny that you say that. So I've always been aware of Masters of the Universe, and it's probably the thing I saw a lot of as a kid. And it was never really into Star Wars, never really into those sort of things. But I remember liking The Mask, if you remember that.
Jim Carrey.
No, the series, the TV series.
Oh, Mobile Armored Strike Command.
Mask.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mask Crusaders. Working overtime.
It was so good. And
we had some great theme tunes as cartoons.
We did. We really did.
Thunder.
Thundercats. Oh my god, that was brilliant. That was another one I used to watch. And He-Man. I remember watching He-Man. And so, and I remember, and I forgot about it for ages. And then I know that Kevin Smith made that animated series recently, and really enjoyed it. And then this film came out, and I didn't know really what to expect. What did I rank Masters of the Universe?
I can't remember. I don't
think I was I think maybe get it a B.
I think we went B, but it was kind of like
it wasn't.
I think we were expecting to give it far worse.
Yeah,
and we went. Actually, we really enjoyed it.
I thought Dolph Lundgren was solid in it.
He was great.
He was really cool.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. And then so I went into this movie. I'll level with you. I wasn't really expecting anything from this film, and I went begrudgingly. I did. I went because we both agreed that we're going to go and see it at the cinema, and I remember oh God, I need to go to the cinema tonight. I did. I booked the tickets. I'm like, I got to go to the cinema on my own because I'm over in the UK at the moment working. I'm on my own. Do I really want to go? Oh yeah, all right, I'll go to the cinema. And I actually bought a bag of popcorn to sit in the cinema with because I never buy popcorn because it's expensive. But I bought a bag of popcorn. I remember thinking that's something to enjoy.
If the movie's shit, the popcorn will get me through.
A pint of beer and a bag of popcorn. Oh God, we'll get through this. That was my entry to this film. My bar was set very, very low, and almost immediately, probably 10 minutes in, I rapidly changed my mind. And for the next 2 hours, I think, not a short film. I don't know the exact.
I don't know the running time. I will say this: it flew by.
It went so quick. And I was laughter. I was not vocal, but there was a couple of points in the movie where I laughed. And the rest of the cinema were looking at me, and then I said something, especially with the a little cameo that happens. Spoilers. I remember going, "Oh!" in the cinema and went, "Sorry."
I definitely laughed out loud a few times.
Yes,
multiple times.
Yes,
more than I can remember laughing out loud for anything recently. I didn't laugh that much for Naked Gun.
They got the comedy so right.
Yeah, nailed it. I think the interesting thing about He-Man, when we think about the cartoon, because people would like to moan about how something isn't authentic to source material, etc., and He-Man in particular has a lot of varied source material, so it depends what you want to pull from. But before we recorded this, we had a cheeky little watch of a few minutes of the very first He-Man cartoon episode from Filmation.
We certainly did.
It was rough.
It was. I tried to figure out what I used to watch as a kid. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very young at the time, so I think I was very entertained by very little. But actually, wow, they made this and it ran for a long time and they kept making it.
But what struck me is, all these years later, I can't really tell you anything about what He-Man the cartoon was about. You had He-Man, you had his group, you had Skeletor. Then there was a bit about whether Skeletor was related or something, but that was it. I can't tell you any big story arcs. It was just week-to-week sort of stuff. And so I think, actually, when you're trying to make a movie, there's not that much to really take from it. It's just the characters.
Yeah.
So, in we go to Masters of the Universe, 2026. I'm seeing Teela, Camille Mendes. I'm having a great time. I laughed. I cried. I did cry a little bit. I never cried.
No, but
I definitely
you were
choked up.
moved.
Yes,
Really?
I was moved.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
For a couple of reasons. One is that I think there was a story point that got me a little bit, but a lot of it was just like childhood throwback.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
God, I'm 10 years old again.
Yeah.
Or, oh God, these characters that I tell you what it was. I'll say it in spoilers. I've remembered the line that got me. I'll say it in spoilers.
Nice.
But yes, I laughed repeatedly. And in terms of things we can talk about that aren't spoilers, we don't like CGI-heavy movies generally.
Yes.
They don't really do it for me.
Yeah.
Things like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that, and all the new Marvel stuff puts me off when I see that much CGI. This is the most flawless, complete, cohesive, CGI-heavy movie I think I've ever seen.
It's certainly a superhero movie that I enjoyed watching. Now, it's not to say I didn't necessarily enjoy the Marvel stuff, but I certainly didn't go out of my way to watch the Marvel stuff. I watched them and I think I was entertained, but I never really got into the backstory and the arc or the phase or the era or the whatever they have these days. I enjoyed them, but this is the first superhero film, if you will, that I really just enjoyed, loved, got completely into, and have told everyone that I've seen since I watched it, go and watch it. Like all the guys at work, I remember telling one guy at work, so I felt a bit embarrassed saying I'm going to see Masters of the Universe. I said, I'm going to see him. What are you saying? Well, Masters of the Universe, but I've got to do it for a podcast. It's the only reason I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it for a podcast. No, for no other reason. Not that I'm into it. I'm not that kind of guy. I just want to see it for the podcast. I don't, I'm not a nerd or anything like that. I don't want you thinking the wrong thing about me. And he's like, oh no, it's cool. I've heard it's really good. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Cool. Since I went, I've been stopping everyone in the street. I've been getting out of the van. I was just stop everyone. Have you been to see Masters of the Universe? Into the petrol station the other day. I was filling at the tank. Went in to see. Do you know what, love? You ought to go and see Masters of the Universe.
Just
some bloody film that is. Some bloody film.
I had the same thing. Anyone I talk to is on the edge of thinking about watching it, but everyone's a bit like, I might wait for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
don't wait. Go to the cinema. Go cinema.
I put out a post today on Instagram, putting review quotes all over it because I just want to encourage people to see it,
dude. I mean,
especially with how it's performing.
And the soundtrack.
I will keep using the word cohesive about this movie. The music is very cohesive with the visuals, and the CGI is very cohesive. But also, it's a cohesive movie from start to finish. Like we just did Supergirl 1984. And that movie is a big mess from start to finish. It doesn't know who it's aimed at, doesn't know what it's trying to be, doesn't know its tone. This is the exact opposite of that. This movie has it together from the start.
Dude, it knows exactly who it's pitching to.
Yeah.
Really. Completely and utterly. But also, because sadly I didn't get to see it with my kids. We didn't go to the cinema. I'm actually thinking about when I get back to Greece, I think it should still be in the cinema when I get back. So I've got to spend a couple of weeks in Europe now. When I get back, I'll probably take them to the cinema if it's still there. It's well worth it.
I want to go back, and I might even try and see it in IMAX, but it's a bit of a journey.
Okay.
But I think they knew they were targeting 80s kids who are now grown up.
Oh, yeah.
The story plot is heavily around that.
Yeah.
But they also did it in such a way where you don't have to know anything about it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
My partner went, she knows nothing about He-Man. And
Did she enjoy it?
She had a great time.
Brilliant.
And she went
Excellent.
into it begrudgingly.
Yeah, a bit like me, I think.
Because I've been banging on about Camilla Mendes as Teela for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep joking about calling her my queen. That she got to the point where she's like, I don't even know if I want to go and see this now. I just hate it already. And so she almost turned that around completely. I just love that they took like these ridiculous 80s toys and the TV show and made it work in 2026.
This is the thing. It was unlike Masters of the Universe 1987 with Dolph Lundgren. This 2026 version is exactly what I remember watching as a kid. All the characters are there. And that's wonderful for me.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's no secret. We can say all the characters there because they're all in the trailer.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, we need to be careful about what else we say about who's in it. But yes.
So should we spoiler alert at this point?
Let's rank it.
All right.
And then people can know how we feel about it. It probably won't be a big surprise, and then we'll do spoilers.
Yes.
So easy for me, S tier.
Yeah, S tier, S tier, solid S tier. Going. I mean, just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It was the right blend of everything. They got it exactly correct. Everything about this film is brilliant. And I am not a superhero person. I'm not a Marvel person. I'm not a DC universe crossover person. I don't know anything about that world at all. I don't go to comic con things. I'm not that guy. Like, I feel that you're that guy a little bit.
I'm so sick of superhero movies now though.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it didn't really feel like a superhero movie too much.
No, absolutely not. I would say it's hardly not a superhero movie.
And he didn't come across as a superhero guy.
No.
Prince Adam / He-Man.
It was like you look at my problem with a lot of the Marvel movies and things is they're just so it's the same format, it's the same story, it's the same set something up. Oh, there's a big bad. Oh, how are we going to defeat this big bad? Yeah. Oh, there's an end battle.
Yeah.
This has elements of that, but it's done in a bit of a fresh way for me.
Yeah.
But I saw some people saying, "Oh, you knew exactly what was going to happen." I thought, no, I didn't. I was edging my seat, going, "Where's it going to go?"
Oh man, I didn't. I mean, yes. Well, right. So let's.
Right. So both S tier. Right. Spoilers are coming.
Yes.
If you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want it spoiled, go away now.
Go and see the film, and then come back and see what we talk about. And if you agree with us, and leave a comment in the comment section below, and ring the bell and whatever.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do the bit.
If you want more behind the scenes stuff, early access, ad free listening, behind the scenes chat, early episodes, all that guff. $5 a month, backlot pass from Rewind. Well, no, what is it? Patreon.com/Rewind Classic Movies. We're going without any kind of prepped notes or anything much here today. So bear with us. You do your bit.
Yes. So if you did like that bit, if you do like this film, make sure that you recommend a friend who likes it also, and tell them to come over to our website and wherever you get your subscription and your podcasts and bits and pieces from.
That'll do.
Sort of like that, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I usually say.
That
is usually scripted on the podcast bit. So if you have listened to our stuff before, you'll know what I'm supposed to say there, and you can just sort of copy paste. And if this is the first one you're listening to of us, this is just incoherent babble. Go and have a listen to our other stuff. Yeah.
Right, so let's get into it.
Let's.
We'll start by talking about the characters. One of my first favourite bits that I really was like, oh,
do you want to get Camilla Mendes out of the way? I feel like we need to do that.
We'll come on to her, as it were. One of my favourite bits was how they explain the character names later in the movie. They've always been ridiculous.
They've been ridiculous. So ridiculous. I thought that was such a brilliant move.
You've got Fisto, you've got Ram Man, and they're just stupid
mental names, completely mental names, and they break down how he came to name them as a kid because of what they did. I just
kids' memory of the most standout feature.
It was wonderful,
and of course that's what a 10-year-old would call them,
dude.
There's that innocence to it.
It was just wonderful.
Even at the end, when they're saying, "What are you going to call yourself?" and he's like, "He-Man."
Yeah, I know.
It was said with, because it would be ridiculous to go, "I'm He-Man."
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that.
I love it. I love it. I love how, as a character who's so deprecating, self-deprecating, completely and utterly, and also the fact he worked in HR.
Yeah.
as Prince Adam on Earth.
And some people are going, oh, it's woke. He's got feelings.
It's so good.
It's fucking brilliant. It's so much more alive. I would say this is a movie where if you just want to go to the cinema and be entertained and have fun, go and see it. But for some people, they're going and seeing a movie and just having dumb fun is an 80s fucking Stallone movie or whatever, where there's nothing but I'm going to blow people up.
Yeah.
This for me just perfectly blended that funny tone with some heavier moments.
Yes.
There was a bit of everything.
There was so much more comedy, and it wasn't forced, because I can't really stand forced comedy, and I think there's quite a lot of things on the telly or in films these days that just are a little bit forced, and maybe it's slightly Hollywood or it's maybe slightly American thing, and I'm with British humour it's a slightly different thing, but I feel like some of it is forced gags that just don't land particularly well with me. In this, I didn't think there was anything that was just too forced.
Everything landed for me in this.
It was just so funny. All of the gags were just great, really, really good.
I mentioned in the non-spoiler bit that I got a bit choked up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I might have had a little teary moment. I can't remember how far I went. There's a line when they're in the prison, and He-Man gathers the Masters of the Universe. Mm-hmm. He says to them, so they're in the darkest moment, they're all like, oh, how are we going to get out? And he says to them, to rally them, he says, you may not remember me, but I've kept you all in my heart. And that for me was like, that's probably what we've all done.
Oh.
As 40-somethings, we've gone, God, yeah, that He-Man, Ram Man, Fisto, they're all in there. We've kept them in our mental toy box.
I like it.
And it's taken, I think that's what he was doing, right? He's now an adult playing with his toys.
Yeah.
I think this whole movie is a metaphor for growing old and remembering your youth.
I quite like that prison.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a good set, I felt.
Well, it's quite near to me, annoyingly, knowing that Camille Mendes was I think less than 20 miles away.
It is mental. Do you know what? I did most of my skating in that era, in that area.
When you were a skater boy?
Yeah, when I was a skater boy, I still am a little bit.
Well, have you, or have you said see you later, boy, to that young you?
Well, she wasn't good enough for me. Is that? Oh God, Avril Lavigne. Yeah. That's the one.
That's it.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. There was a skate park down at Seaton. It's great. Really good. Yeah. Good skate park. Also some good caves where they filmed the prison scene. Apparently, which you told me earlier this evening. Yes. I had no idea. But apparently, quite a lot of this film was produced in the UK.
Yeah.
So presumably some of it at Pinewood.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, a lot of local stuff.
Yeah.
I just made a note here that I'm just going to read. He-Man really is all of us. He's having a normal adult life and being taken back to his childhood and discovering the wonder of Eternia and the people who are there that we knew as kids. We're older now, but we still remember them. It's all a brilliantly executed metaphor.
There were lots of memories that came flooding back for me. So as I said, I've never really been into comics and superheroes and all that sort of stuff. It's never really gone with me from childhood into adulthood. But when I saw this film, I did suddenly remember an awful lot of stuff that went on, including who's the floating ghost?
I thought you meant Casper.
No.
Do you mean Orko?
Orko.
He's not a ghost.
Well, whatever. The floating
a magician.
He's a magician. I don't know. But I remember at the end of all the series, he used to come on. He come on with so what's the take home message from today's episode kind of thing. Because they always had that little message. And at the film, at the end of the credits, the first row of credits, he comes on. It's in today's message. It's like brilliant. I remember, and I'd forgotten all about that, and it brought that flooding back to me. It was at the end of every episode there was a message for, hey kids, the message today is don't kick
cross the
pigeons
road,
or whatever it is that you're not supposed to do. Pick up your litter and put it in the bin, or otherwise Skeletor's going to come and fist you with his hand or something. It's
Did you think about Orko going into this?
No.
Because for me,
I don't think I thought of a lot of the characters going to this.
He was on my mind because he was the only one from the cartoon that hadn't been shown in the trailer. And I said on the show last week, I think, that I did have a suspicion that maybe they'd taken him out of some of the trailer shots.
Right, yeah.
In a really optimistic, we're actually going to get Orko in the movie. I was 99.9% confident he would be in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. I did wonder if he'd be at the end. Mm-hmm. It was almost a bit less for me than I thought. The last 10 minutes, I thought Orko's going to come and save the day. There's a couple of moments of jeopardy where you think, they're fucked. How are they going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And I went, it's going to be Orko. He's going to come.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So he arrives right at the end. It's all, you could take it out and the movie wouldn't be any worse, but it's a nice bit of fan service.
It's nice of a nod, isn't it?
I did think, I got to the end of the movie and we hadn't seen him, and I thought, surely there's no way you do this to people. You don't put every single figure in from your childhood, but not Orko. So I'm glad they did it. It was the right choice.
Did you stay right to the end of the end?
I
to
stayed,
the end of the end of the end.
I stayed embarrassingly to the end, to the point where my partner was like, we can't stay and sit here, like they're cleaning around us.
Dude, they were. All the lights came up. Everyone had left. And there's only 2 dudes behind me who stayed. And I thought, well, if they're staying, I'm going to stay because I reckon they might know something. And I'm glad I did. But I was getting to the point, like, I probably should just go now.
I generally Google. When the movie finishes, I Google post-credit scene in the movie to see if anyone said anything. And I don't look what it is, but I just look to see if there is one. And this one, I think, had 3.
Yes, I think I did have quite a few.
The last one is a long wait.
Yeah, you've got to see the whole lot. But in a way, that's lovely because these are the people that made the film. And I always feel sometimes, even though I do scan the names and just vaguely read them, and they flash by you, but it's like, yeah, all these guys and girls made this movie, and it's great.
Brilliant job they did. Let's talk about the cast. Nick Galitzine, I think I didn't pronounce that wrong. As I think that is right. Nicholas Galitzine. Nicholas as Prince Adam / He-Man. Perfect.
Brilliant.
Absolutely perfect.
Until tonight, I didn't realise he was British.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's funny.
As posh as I am.
Like him. Yeah. People say he's not buff enough. Because you had Dolph Lundgren and you had the original cartoon He-Man. It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't at all.
If that's your reason for not liking this movie, you need to get
out more.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think... I mean, he was definitely buff enough. He's buffer than I am, so, know.
And the characters are... I don't want to say wildly different, but they are noticeably different. The way he plays Prince Adam versus the way he plays He-Man are 2 different characters.
Completely and utterly.
And let's not forget, Dolph Lundgren didn't do Prince Adam at all.
Not in the slightest. You don't even know he's Prince Adam.
No.
I mean, there's such a lack of characters. You're right, it's Masters of the Universe, but there's no reason for it existing or what the point is. At least there's a backstory with this. You see the full backstory and what's going on and why, And
I really like the transition.
Yes.
The way he goes from one to the other.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think
although, having said that, I'd kind of like to know, with like, for example, Superman, he arrives on Earth and you do see his family raising him, so you kind of see how he's become human. But like, you don't see that so much.
What do you
mean? In He-Man, in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. You don't see how he becomes what?
How he grows up kind of thing. You sort of, he arrives in Eternia and then is sort of grown up and working in HR.
He arrives on Earth?
Yes.
Oh, you mean see him from like 10 years old to 25?
He's gone into that portal. He's lost the sword and he's splashed down.
15 years go by,
and then you don't see him become human or whatever he's become. He's suddenly just working. It's not. It doesn't matter, but you do see the progression in Superman, for example, albeit briefly. You see like the family, how he was raised. He went to school and stuff like that. So you can see the transition.
I think that's why it works, though. I think you have that kid who's like, oh no, I've lost the sword, and he's young and he's innocent, and then like almost crash cuts to him in a HR office,
which also works, doesn't it? Actually, with his little name tag and everything, it works.
I found him very funny. I found him very charismatic. I just every second he's on screen, I loved him.
Yeah.
And actually, I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much the Prince Adam on Earth section. Partly because we had the 87 movie and everyone's like, oh, it's on Earth, it shouldn't be on Earth. And I think everyone was dreading the Earth sequence being long and not being on Eternia. But it was almost some of my favourite bits. The clumsy Prince Adam.
Yes. And I liked his flatmate. And I liked how they interacted, and it reminded me a little bit of Superman. I know they weren't flatmates, but he had his best friend in the films with Tom Holland and the other character.
You said Superman.
Spider-Man. Sorry, Spider-Man. One of the mans.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And they've got that kind of fun friendship, kind of a very similar sort of friendship, I think, in those two, although a bit older. But I love how he's so unapologetically talking to his date about how he comes from Eternia and he's lost his sword, and she just walks off like, this guy's mental. Yeah. And his flatmate or whatever's like, you told them, didn't you? You tried. and it's just brilliant. He just doesn't ever give up on the fact that he's from Eternia. No. I love that.
And I really enjoyed young kid Adam as well in Eternia. That kid played it really well.
Yes, actually,
it was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Actually, you're absolutely right. Yeah, because it's not on screen for ages, but actually, yeah, you're right. He did do a good job. Fantastic.
What we thought might be the controversial bit of the movie, Skeletor, Jared Leto.
I was not I'm not a big fan of Jared Leto. I mean, he was brilliant in the Dallas Buyers Club. I give him credit where credit's due, and there were a couple of 30 Seconds to Mars songs that I kind of liked at the time. I just not really into him, and I know a lot of people aren't as well.
Is it because he's fucking weird?
But no, because a lot of people are fucking weird and they're cool with it, because
is it because he's weird in his movies?
Maybe.
It's like in this, I've seen the set photo. There's not many behind the scenes photos of Jared Leto, but there is one accompanied by a story of him turning up on set, and to freak people out, he's got blood on his face. That is classic Leto.
Yeah, because he's done a lot of films and he's made a lot of good films, and he has done some serious films where he's got some serious awards for it. But also he's just done some weird stuff. I don't know.
Take it easy, mate. Like you're playing a cartoon skeleton.
Yes,
you don't need to freak people out.
No, but I think he's brilliant.
He's fucking nailed it.
He was absolutely fantastic, and bizarrely, and I don't quite know why they got Jared Leto and they didn't get, I don't know, an English actor, or could you imagine Patrick Stewart doing this, for example? That voice,
yes,
or Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh, He-Man, you are a boob.
Having seen it now, actually, I could see some English actor actually doing it, because Jared Leto in this film, Lato. I'll have a Lato, please, a double shot. In this film, he puts on a very English. Bad guy
thespian
accent, and it nails it. Don't get me wrong, absolutely nails it. You would have no idea it was Jared Leto. If I didn't know it was Jared Leto going into this, I wouldn't have a clue.
They're almost trying to make you not have a clue it's Jared Leto.
It's funny that, isn't it?
But he, say credit where credit's due. He's fucking perfect.
He's absolutely brilliant. So he's pulled another fantastic performance out the back.
Yeah, it does ask the question of. And this is horribly loaded, because I'm about to say, why get Jared Leto when he's done such a great job? But you're going, we're going to get someone who you don't see their face and they don't use their normal voice, and it's a very different voice. Why not just get an English thespian or something? But there you go. They went with him for a reason, and they got the performance out of it.
They certainly did. No, they absolutely got exactly what they wanted from him, because he was fantastic. But there's the part where he's laughing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so Austin Powers. It
is quite an Austin Powers performance.
And it is very funny that he's got a lot of funny moments, much like He-Man has got a lot of funny moments. He's very funny. With
in the series, He-Man was the straight guy, and Skeletor was the funny one.
The comic, absolutely. Yeah.
My partner absolutely loved him as well. It took me a moment.
Well, I've always liked Skeletor as a character more than He-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
He's absolutely been the guy I sort of support and want to see more of, is Skeletor.
Yeah.
So it was great to see.
And actually, He-Man in the cartoons is fucking boring.
Yes.
He's really boring.
Yes.
And that's where Nicholas Galitzine did such a great job, because he actually becomes interesting and has layers and depth.
Yes. And because he works that boring office job, he works the job that we all work, let's face it, and clock in, clock out kind of thing. But I am the Prince of Eternia, but no one believes me. And, it's like, well, maybe I'm a bit mad and, go to my job and stuff like that. So you can sort of relate.
Yeah. Oh, that's why it is so relatable.
Yeah.
On Skeletor, it took me a moment to stop thinking about Frank Langella in the 87 one, who gives the darker, scarier performance, but I don't think it would have suited this movie. This is the way to go. But I do have a fondness for that Skeletor from 87. Talking of which,
I did mention in the previous podcast when we were doing the Masters Universe 87 that he wrote a book.
Oh yes, Frank Langella's book.
One of our Patreons, Kat, found a copy. Found a copy, and I'm going to read it. I've also actually found it on Spotify, and also I think you can get it on audio as well. And he reads it, he narrates it.
No,
so I'm looking forward to watching that. So, side note: if you haven't watched our previous podcast about Masters of the Universe 87. The Skeletor, the actor that plays Skeletor in that, has written quite a saucy...
yes, because it's all about how he was basically being a bit of a slut, but how it was classy or something. I can't remember the line.
Yeah, but absolutely. I don't remember what I said, but
we said Skeletor was putting it about.
Yes, basically. So I'm really looking forward to reading that, to be honest.
Oh, if he's narrating his own book, I'm in.
Yeah, original Skeletor talking. Yes, please.
But Jared Leto's Skeletor, I think it was funny. He was charismatic. He was still menacing and scary and powerful.
I preferred the costume actually, and the design to it was different though. It was a different take. It was more like the comic book again. It was more like the comic book. It was more skeleton than it was the original one. It was,
Yeah.
you could tell the prosthetics, it was done very well, but it's a very different. It was a slightly more fleshed out skull, whereas Jared Leto's, it's clearly a skull.
Yeah,
And the red eyes, which are classic to the animation.
well, I don't know. I think the red eyes were in the animation. I think it was in Revelation.
You think?
I think so. I could be wrong. But
Maybe.
of all the things that, like, the visuals were all perfect and stuff, but the Skeletor was the only bit visually where I was a bit like, I keep thinking about it being an effect. But that's just me in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we go next? Man at Arms, Idris Elba.
Stunning.
Fabulous.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets everywhere. So
Yeah.
Idris.
But also, he brings a layered performance with what they do with the character and him being an alcoholic.
Yes.
You don't expect that.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, the
And
87
then it
Man
made
at Arms
perfect
was so
sense.
straight.
Yes. He's training him and looking after him a little bit, and
I
his
like
dad. That was, tell you what, if there was any point I got choked up, is when Idris Elba and Man at Arms is there and he's saying, when he turns around, get up. And he'll turn around, because when he turns around, he'll see you standing there strong. So when he turns around any minute now, he's going to turn. And he doesn't turn around. He just walks off. And it's like, and that is actually the son's last memory. Because then all hell breaks loose, and that's awful. And then he dies, and he doesn't really. There's no, and that is quite brutal actually.
His death was pretty horrible.
It was.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He gets to see him and say goodbye and everything, but it was quite like, oh God, that's it.
Part of me was a bit like, no, he's not going to, not like this.
No, he does.
He does.
He cops it.
And sort of He-Man's fault.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
But just to talk about the invasion, I thought they did that really well. That it did sort of come out of nowhere for me.
Yes.
That was a surprise. I was as surprised as the characters.
Surprise!
Yeah. I knew it was sort of coming, but it all just happened so quickly.
They were ready. They've been prepping that attack a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man at Arms in this for me is kind of like the spine of it. Mm-hmm. He's like the through note of everything.
He has a good redemption arc.
Yeah.
If that's a thing people say these days.
Yeah.
I feel like he does.
But it's his relationships as well to all the characters that make it make sense.
I like his relationship with his daughter that happens throughout, because obviously, he was great at his job once upon a time and then turned into an alcoholic and he's slowly getting it back. And she's, no, I've got this, Dad. And she kicks ass. And it's great. Yeah, the whole dynamic between the two of them is brilliant.
I didn't expect them to keep him as Teela's dad. Now, that is controversially me going, well, I don't think they're related because their skin colour's different.
I didn't even think about that.
But they
didn't even think about it because I'm not racist. So
well, exactly. But they explain it nicely. I don't think they explain it in the movie, but in the interviews and things I've seen, they just say that he's their adoptive father.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense.
Brilliant.
So you don't need,
That's all it needs.
I mean, he's got green legs.
I don't know if they're his actual legs, are they?
Are they with tights on?
I think that's his outfit, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, he's got green legs. I just assume those are his legs. Are they his tights he wears in the series then?
I don't know.
No, fair enough.
I really enjoyed his character, though, and I laughed towards the end because as it goes to that last battle with the robot and they're defending Grayskull, he jumps behind like a boulder or something to hide behind it, and he just sort of like enthusiastically kind of giggles to himself.
Yes.
And he's really enjoying it. And then he pokes his head up and he gets shot in the helmet. Ooh. And that just whole little sequence really made me chuckle and just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's some very funny crude jokes in this. One of which, just before this, was, "Give 'em head, Ram Man."
There's an awful lot that, as a sort of 15-year-old has never really grown up, toilet humour in this.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of double, well, they're not even double entendres, they're just blatant.
Single entendres.
Single entendres. They are just, rude as you like, and it's fantastic that they've actually managed to keep it, I think it's 12?
Is it?
I think so.
I thought it'd be PG.
I think it's 12A.
I was surprised by how edgy they would be with some of the jokes. I'd laugh out loud and then go, fucking hell, I can't believe they just did that. I mean, it's really up my Strasser.
Yeah. It absolutely is. It does appeal to me as a kid that's never grown up at all and still finds all these things hilariously funny.
It is a 12A.
It is a 12A. I thought so. Because there are, adult jokes.
You got Fisto and Ram Man.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And I love, we said about it earlier, but I love the character's surprise when he says what he thinks their names are.
I know.
And it's all a bit, and then do you want to do the line from Fisto?
He does. Well, you're Fisto because you fist people. And then Fisto says, I don't fist people. And he says, I'm pretty sure I saw you fist a goblin once. At this part of this, I mean, to be honest, I probably don't remember the next 30 seconds of anything that happened in the film because I was creased over laughing. And this is the thing, actually no one else in the cinema was laughing at this point.
Really?
And I'm dying.
Oh, dying, absolutely.
I mean, and it was probably, to be fair, the cinema was quite empty, unfortunately, which is a real shame.
No way.
There was probably 12, 13 other people in there kind of thing. And I am floods of laughter. I mean, I am dying at this point. I mean, I can't. And I managed to hold it together for the first 2 lines, and then it was that fisting a goblin. No, I'm done. I'm done here. I'm done.
The thing for me is that Travis Knight did such a good job directing this, that the tone of it and the humour, everyone knew what it was meant to be.
Yes.
The way they delivered the lines, they're all having fun with it. You can see it. He assembled a really good cast. All the interviews that I've seen with them afterwards, they're all on the same page comedically. They're all really good, nice people, from what I can see, who are just having good fun and good banter, and like they're repeating the lines in interviews. They're clearly so memorable,
so straight as well.
Yeah. Nicholas Galitzine in interviews is just like, yeah, I saw him fist a goblin, like in an interview. Like, you're just saying a line from the movie. I couldn't hold that together.
How many times I've said it, I couldn't keep it together.
Yeah,
you know.
Evil Lynn, Alison Brie, she for me was the dullest character, but I like the way she was treated like shit by Skeletor.
Yes.
I don't mean that in a very sexist.
No, not at all.
Put women down.
Not at all. Do you know what? I half expected her to suddenly side with Adam, like, I've had enough of shit.
Yes,
I could see that coming. It was at one point she made this face like, oh, fuck this.
Skeletor's pushed her too far.
Yeah,
she's
I'm going to go and give you the key to get out of the thing to do the stuff. But actually, it didn't happen.
I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah. Well, I was expecting it.
But I liked that it added this depth of Skeletor and her's relationship, and she wasn't purely being sycophantic.
Yeah. Yeah, she was tired of his shit.
Yeah. Like, you could see her killing him himself, but also probably not turning good. And while we're on her, did you stayed right to the end?
Right to the
end.
So
you saw her
end.
post-credits sequence.
Yes.
Where she goes and picks up the Skeletor's skull.
Yeah.
Which I like. I always like us setting up a sequel, and I really hope they get it.
Oh, God, I hope so. I hope so.
I was a bit nervous. Up until that point, I thought, well, they've killed off Skeletor. What the fuck do they do now? And the last thing you want is to then open a new movie with somehow Skeletor's return.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So
Yeah. It's funny because I know, I mean, we can talk about it now. I know that it's up to this point. I mean, a week on from release? It's not done brilliantly box office.
No.
And I don't quite get that. I don't understand that. I'm really struggling to understand why, because I know it cost a lot to make. However, I know it's an Amazon production, and if you fuck Bond up, I mean, I'm out. I'm out. Anyway, that's another whole can of worms and topic of conversation. I know it's an Amazon production. They've thrown money at it. I don't think they care if they're going to lose money on this or not, but I hope it's enough that they still will make a sequel, because it was brilliant, and I don't understand why it's done so badly at the box office, because other films have been released of this, and I thought it would be so mad. I thought people would be so up for, oh yeah, I saw this film when, and it's funny because I know there's been a resurgence of, these 80s films that are getting remade and 90s films that are getting remade. There's a lot of bands that are touring at the moment who were out when I was 15, 14, 13. I was talking earlier about Limp Bizkit, who, I know this is ridiculous, but they're touring again. There's a lot of bands from that era sort of touring again. There's a lot of reinvention of that particular time period of stuff that's being released. So I'd have thought that people our age, who it's aimed at, basically people in their early 40s, late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s maybe, that would go, yes, I want to see this and relive my childhood. But it's just seeming at the moment, maybe it's going to pick up, because I know we're only a week on. Maybe it's going to pick up, or people like us have gone, this is brilliant, go and see it, and maybe it'll spread like that, or turn into a bit of a cult thing, maybe.
You hope the word of mouth picks up. I think traditionally you go, well, it probably won't. But I think He-Man has a bit of a unique problem in that people aren't that attached to it, because like I said earlier, there weren't really any great story points or any depth to it. It's just a core memory of a toy you once had for the most part. And each
episode was just a bit of a lesson on life and how to behave in society.
And I think a lot of people just have this kind of naff association with it. Like, the cartoon was a bit naff, and then they've done things since, like the 87 movie, which sort of, if you can't really remember it or haven't watched it recently, you sort of go, oh, well, that was a bit shit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got this bit of a tarnished reputation.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Hopefully it does better. But it's always got the shot on streaming as well. That's another chance for it. And Amazon did come out and say, so I've read, that they're judging it by a different metric other than just box office.
Yes.
Which is great if that's true.
Yeah.
I'd love for it to make a load of money. I want a universe.
Yes.
give me a sequel, give me a Teela series.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, it's funny because this is the thing. We always still rate things in box office takings, don't we? How successful a film has been, and then how it's done on VHS or DVD or Blu-ray or whatever you want to say. And it was how we did records back in the day. It's like how many physical copies have you shifted?
It's gone platinum.
And now it's how many downloads and how many this and how many streams and things have changed so much. And because of all the streaming services, now Amazon and Netflix are making films and big films that they aren't necessarily releasing in the cinema. It might only be in the cinema for a couple of 3 weeks, and then 2 weeks later it's on the streaming service and what have you. They are using different metrics. It's getting weird how we relate to how successful a film has been. It can't be box office anymore. It can't be.
It's got to it can't lose money. That's the thing. It can't be a horrific loss.
Yeah.
But hopefully they believe in it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit of shame. Let's talk about Teela, my
Bezos
queen.
can always sell a yacht,
Yeah. Teela, my queen.
Yes.
She was perfect, wasn't she?
So you keep banging on about her.
Chance of a fine thing.
I mean, yes, she played a great part. All right, maybe I don't really see the same thing in her that you do. Maybe I don't really know. Maybe because
I really like
not a sex addict or something.
The actress for me, Camille Mendes, is such a brilliant personality, along with Nick. He-Man.
You would earlier on today when I got to yours, you were showing me some interviews.
Yeah.
And actually, yes, I'd not seen any interviews. I've not really seen them off screen. And I've seen their interviews, and they have got a brilliant chemistry. They really do.
They just
really
enjoy
do.
being around each other and talking about the movie.
They have a lot of fun together, and it really shows. And I think that's really nice. Yeah.
Her and Nick Galitzine are brilliant.
Yeah. No, I thought she was great. She played really well. I like the interaction with her dad, and so it was just I like that thing going on. Yeah, I thought she did quite well.
I was almost harsh on her because I'd seen enough of the banter between them in real life and interviews beforehand that I was almost expecting more in the movie, which is an unfair expectation.
Okay.
But she was this badass warrior, and I liked that they didn't do the love interest thing straight away. She kicked ass. She had her own moments kicking ass. She was kind of funny. Had a bit of everything. Almost everyone had a bit of everything in this, actually.
And also, the love interest thing wasn't really overly milked at all.
No.
I mean, in fact, it's very rare that you see a film where there's not really any love interest at all these days.
She's too busy. She's too much of a warrior.
Which is great, actually. And I know he tried to go on some dates early on, because of he's on Earth and he's trying to meet girls and stuff like that. But there's no actual.
Because that's what we do on Earth. We meet
exactly.
girls.
Yeah. And actually, that's quite refreshing in a way that there isn't. We need to have the falling in love bit, the sex scene, whether that's with the curtains closed or we're doing it right in front of you kind of thing. That happens so much now.
Although now you say that, maybe in Masters 2 there could be a sex scene.
Maybe
I'd like that.
Maybe would you? Okay. Look, Jeff.
Yeah, or Travis. Let's talk about some of the monsters quickly. I'm glad Karg was in it.
Yes.
Karg was bad. Like, I thought they might change up the look or something, but Karg was basically 87 Karg, but older.
Very much.
Did you see how they aged them up in between the segments as well?
No.
I think we saw Karg,
no, I
all
didn't
the characters
see that.
early on. You see the bad guys.
Oh, I didn't clock that
in
at
the
all.
attack.
Yeah, makes
and
total
then
sense.
15 years later, like Karg has like got grey hair or more wrinkles or something.
I didn't clock that at all.
It was really well done.
I thought Wolfman was great.
Yeah, they all looked brilliant. Trapjaw, like I keep looking behind the scenes.
Oh, dude,
and,
yeah,
like,
Trapjaw.
It's not CGI. Like
No, that was real. I'm certain.
The face was so good. I kept watching him in the cinema like this looks amazing.
Yeah,
that doesn't have that CGI look to it.
Yeah,
it all looks so good.
That first initial standoff where Prince Adam, understands how to wield the power and suddenly gets the power and he's standing off with Trapjaw. That's just fantastic, that whole thing. Although I kept thinking, like, no one's fallen off this. There's no guardrails up. There's no handrails.
In Star Wars, someone would have gone.
They're all just these open things. And it made me think, like, what is it with these weird planets or wherever they are in a galaxy far, far away? No one puts fucking railings up in space. And they're all big drops, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all like,
to your death.
Well, that just goes down forever. Yeah. And they've all got these pods, this massive sort of landing space, and this little stripway that you walk down. Hey, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But hey, I love it.
That was a great sequence. Everything was a great sequence.
They were all great sequences. They were.
Let's talk about the music.
Oh God, right? Oh. There's nothing that isn't brilliant. Just doesn't seamlessly fit. Yeah. And the Queen number, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, Brian May.
Oh God.
Can't really say Queen.
Well, you can. It was Freddie Mercury.
Well, okay. What?
Yeah. That was Freddie Mercury singing.
Freaking what?
The song, The Masters of the Universe.
No.
Yes, it was.
No, I'm afraid
Yes, it
not.
was. Yes, it was.
You'll love this. You
Wait,
mean
was
the
it-
end song, Masters of the Universe?
No, not at the end. Sort of halfway through.
That's The Darkness.
Was that
Is
Hawkins? No.
the Darkness of the end song.
I'm not talking about the end song.
There was a Queen number in the middle.
There's a Queen number in the middle.
Yeah.
That's Freddie Mercury.
Sorry, I thought you were saying...
No.
Brian May plays guitar.
Yes, I know
on a
Brian
couple
May
of
plays
tracks.
guitar, but it's also a Queen song where Freddie Mercury's singing. No,
Sure.
no one can replicate that. That at
And
all.
I like the link between that and Flash Gordon.
Yes.
To have Queen play
Oh,
on
it's
those.
just brilliant.
And they're
It's
very similar.
brilliant.
You know, people think Flash Gordon is a bit naff and a bit of a flop. And they have things in common.
I thought actually there were a lot of parallels
Yeah.
between Flash Gordon and this.
Yeah.
And I know I didn't rank Flash Gordon particularly highly, but actually it's a great film considering it's so naff. And actually there's loads of parallels between the two. You know?
And
James Bond in tights.
Daniel Pemberton, who did the score, is
Legend.
quickly becoming my favourite composer of
Right.
the year.
I mean,
He did Project Hail Mary,
which
which
is
was exceptional.
fantastic.
That should win
So good.
all the awards.
Yeah.
They're both amazing, and they're both quite experimental in ways. This has
And also, like, I was reading because I had to look him up. And actually, he's not, he's not come to the music the traditional kind of musician's way kind of thing. He's like, oh, yeah, it's a bit of fun. And then suddenly, like, oh, God, I scripted this and it worked well and just gone on from there. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
I like that how both those movie scores are both incredibly powerful and have this emotional weight to them, but they're actually both quite experimental. He was using like wet glass plates or something in Project Hail Mary, and in this, I mean, fuck me, you've got a great theme and there's lots of variations of it and different instrumentation and stuff, and then at one point you've got like a 70s funk cop take going on as well.
Yeah.
I've been listening to this score on loop today.
It's great.
And yeah, I will listen to it in my car.
I've listened to it as well. I've listened to it. In fact, I listened to it in the office 2 days ago when I was doing some admin stuff in the office, and I was on my own. It was great. I didn't listen to it in the car, but I did. Yeah, I did listen to it in the office, and it's just stunning. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. It's got all the right amount of rock and guitars and stuff that we love anyway. And yes, you got the darkness in it, which was great fun. And again, because the darkness are quite a tongue-in-cheek band, and they are unapologetically tongue-in-cheek. And I think this film is the same.
They are a great metaphor for this movie. They don't take themselves seriously. They're fun and over the top, and a bit wink at the camera in their music.
And I think this film's got that in bags as well.
Spot on choice.
Yeah.
There's a couple of modern pop songs in there as well, but also the score for me at times is quite reminiscent of Michael Kamen's Robin Hood Prince of Thieves theme. Robin Hood Prince of Thieves score.
Okay.
It goes a bit medieval, right? When they're having some of the Eternia moments.
Oh, yeah.
And there are some melodies that for a minute I was like, oh, hello, this is familiar.
Interesting.
Go and pay
Okay, yeah. I'll have a listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got to drive for 2 hours back home.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's a good one. The movie and the soundtrack, they give a brief song over to the reinventing the original cartoon score as well. That comes right at the end of the movie.
Yes, yeah, exactly. With the credits, I think. Yeah.
That was really well done. And we covered that originally on the website last July.
Did we?
Yeah, because they put the title out and like the title reveal of Masters of the Universe, and they used that kind of reinvented score.
Nice.
To announce it.
This is how much I look at our own website.
Any other things we want to talk about? I didn't want to go back to the real world.
I didn't.
I want to stay there, and I want more adventures.
I wanted to just watch it again. I was seriously considering, going again the next day, funnily enough, and I had to actually go and do some stuff. Well, I want to go and see it again. I do want to go see it again, so actually I really hope that this is still showing by the time I get home to Greece. Then I take my kids to go and see it, because I want to see it again and fully enjoy it.
I almost pre-ordered it on Blu-ray earlier.
Really?
I don't ever watch Blu-rays. There'd be no reason for me to do that.
Amazing.
But I almost want to own a bit of it.
Yeah.
I love the bit we mentioned it earlier. Off the show, they sort of allude to him going off and having more adventures, and he goes to and secretly gets changed, and does he think we don't know or something? They just wink and nodding
right
about
at
the original
end,
cartoon.
he sort of walks off and says, I just need to go now. It's like, should we let him know that we know?
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
It was really, there was nice little moments like that. The mid-credits teases She-Ra.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about She-Ra, I'll be honest. Did you when you were younger watch She-Ra?
I remember the name, not really.
Yeah. I know for a lot of people it's just intrinsically linked. But
yeah. What I thought was interesting is they didn't have a lot of his pussycat, who's...
Cringer.
That's
Battle
what I can
Cat.
think. I wanted to say, well, I don't know what I was going to say. I want to say Bowser for some reason, which is a Mario character. I couldn't Cringer, who's obviously frightened cat, and then turns into a battle cat when he puts a spell on him. He rides him around everywhere, kind of thing. There wasn't a lot of him.
No,
I know. Obviously, because he talks about a talking cat, and then he gets him as a child, kind of thing. Grows up, and then he comes back to him, and it's much later on. But there wasn't. I was expecting more of that cat, because I do remember I definitely had the He-Man character that sat on the cat, and I had the cat as well. I had Cringer. Those are the two things that I definitely had.
And did you know that Skeletor had a big cat as well?
No, really?
Yeah, there was a big purple cat, and it was exactly the same mold that they just put a different skin
colours
on.
That's
One's
interesting.
Skeletor's is like in purple felt.
No way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Saving costs.
That's funny.
There's some great documentaries out there about the toys.
Okay. Yeah. Mattel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mattel. Because didn't Mattel make Barbie?
Yeah.
And I wondered I don't know if Amazon funded the Barbie movie or anything like that.
I can't remember. I've seen people negatively compare this to Barbie and go, He-Man's gone all Barbie. Fuck off.
It's completely different. But Barbie did so well, obviously. That was huge.
I
Absolutely
didn't
massive.
think Barbie would work, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it did though.
Yeah, it worked
It
brilliantly.
worked brilliantly. I loved it. I wasn't really expecting much going into it. Actually, fantastic. It's like Ryan. I was talking earlier. We were talking about Ryan Gosling, who just can make everything work so well.
Really?
He's a phenomenal guy.
But you were talking about Cringer.
I was talking about Cringer.
I was also expecting a bit more, and I wasn't disappointed. The moment when they get on Cringer and go into battle the first time, I was like, he's not got his armour.
Yes.
It was just...
because he has the magical
And there was no transformation.
Yeah. And he becomes
But-
not scared and like, I'm going to put all the stuff on.
Yeah.
You know?
So they've changed that a bit, which is fine. And you do see him in his armour a bit later on, right at the end.
I don't remember.
Yeah, when he goes off and they ride off and stuff, and it goes from what looks like live action into stop animation. Mm-hmm. It's really brilliantly done.
Okay.
That was nice, but I think ultimately the choice they made is to serve the story. You don't need to see Cringer change into this battle cat, and you don't need to see them riding him all that much to really do anything for the story.
Yeah.
It was almost the most awkward bit of it when they're riding him in. Actually, you sort of think, is this really necessary?
Yeah.
But it was nicely done. For me, it was more than just a fun, dumb movie. I was invested. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It made me think about my childhood. It made me think about my adulthood. It made me think about my parents, my kids, my future. But it made me happy.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
Did everything.
I definitely enjoyed it. I was thinking that I don't go to the cinema often, and I probably should go to the cinema more, actually. There's a
Because you're on a movie podcast.
well, not only that, but also it makes me think that it got it with the streaming that we're doing more and more. We're consuming more and more in our houses and consuming more and more on maybe smaller screens. And actually, when you go to the cinema and watch something on a really big screen with a really good sound system, it's like, do you know what? This is actually brilliant. Mm-hmm. When you see a good film, and I've been lucky that I've seen a couple of 3 really good films recently. I went to see, Project Hail Mary, which is obviously blew me away. I wasn't expecting that to be, as good as it is. That was just such a stunning movie. I went to see the Michael Jackson film. I love Michael Jackson anyway. I love all the music, so that was a great film to watch. Obviously, woken everyone up. And then saw this film, and so I've been lucky to see 3 really good films back to back at the cinema. And it was really enjoyable, really good.
The cinema experience before this that I went to, they forgot to turn the lights off for the first 10 minutes of the movie. That slightly ruined it.
That's quite funny.
Anyway, thank you.
I went to see. Oh yeah, Backrooms. I went to see Backrooms recently. There was another film which blew me away. Really, really good. They did such a good job on it.
There's a lot of good stuff out at the minute.
Stunning, absolutely stunning. So and I think it's not a dying industry, but I think a lot more. We can put a lot more time because it does employ so many people in the movie industry, and I think it's such a thing that we need to support a bit more. And if ticket prices are not as mental as I think they were a lot more money. I
think they've come down,
which is fantastic.
When was the last time you went to see the same film more than once in the cinema?
The Matrix.
20 years ago.
And The Mummy. I love that so much. Because I lived literally opposite cinema. I remember going to see that twice, although not in the same day, but yeah.
The last time I went to the cinema more than once, there might have been something, but it was definitely probably The Force Awakens 2015.
It was an Oasis film.
Oasis. Yeah. I definitely maybe went to this, or one of the Star Wars, but it would have been big Star Wars tentpole movies. And this definitely had parallels. Like I came out going, well, I want to see that again. I jokingly said in there, as the credits were rolling, I might just stay here and watch the next showing. It's amazing. And how people can come away from this being negative. All I can go is, look, you took your own expectations in and it didn't live up to them. The biggest danger.
I know, and this is the thing. I don't actually understand anyone that could, I understand critics have got to find holes in it, or, they might say, oh, this is not so good, or this is not so good, or it didn't land for me. But I think anyone who goes to see this as a fan, or even vaguely has a memory of watching Masters of the Universe, surely can't be disappointed with this if they enjoyed the cartoon as a kid, or even the Kevin Smith the reboot, if you will. There's nothing, or even the Dolph Lundgren version. And let's talk about that cameo.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, that was huge.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't huge though.
But it was.
Do you think?
Really?
I mean, it was 20 seconds.
Yeah, but it was huge.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't 20 seconds. It was a bit more than 20 seconds.
I always try and stay away. When there's a film I'm really excited about, I try and stay away from knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
To the point where I didn't even watch the final trailer for this.
I had no idea who's in it.
But you invariably can't avoid all the social media crap that people put up. I mean, people were putting up spoilers from this on the day it came out.
Oh, really?
They're taken in the cinema, filming it, which is hateful.
But you're so in. But the thing is, your world also is on social media. I mean, I don't have any of that. I have no social media, so I'm just so blind to all this stuff. I haven't got a clue.
But the Dolph Lundgren stuff, people were saying, "Oh, he's in it," and then your brain just tries to connect dots then the minute you know he's in it.
Yeah.
And it was actually completely different to what I expected.
I thought it was brilliant.
I thought there'd be a mentor role or something like that.
I thought it was so good.
And it was almost thrown away.
I thought it was so good.
Like, he was irrelevant to the story.
But I think that works so well.
Yeah.
I think it's just cool. He's just in the gym. Have you got any tips?
Yeah.
I thought it was just great.
It was brilliantly done.
And then,
absolutely brilliant.
And then he's just like, good journey. Oh my god! And the thing is, and I again, that was when I made an audible noise, a very audible noise in the auditorium, because it's like Dolph Lundgren, oh, and again, no one in the audience is like, oh god, haven't you seen the fucking film? It's like, well, actually, I just watched it last week because we were reviewing it, but also, maybe if I hadn't seen the film recently, maybe I wouldn't have put two and two together. Maybe I wouldn't have known that Dolph Lundgren was the.
I just thought they nailed the execution. It was very meta, very wink at the camera, and done exactly. But you could also cut it out, and it wouldn't have affected the story.
No, not at all. It wouldn't. But I like that handover. I like the changing of the guard in the way. I thought they did it really, really well. But it wasn't too cheesy. I mean, obviously it was cheesy, but it wasn't too cheesy. No. It was just nicely done.
The right tone. Everything's the same tone.
Absolutely.
Right, we'll call that a day.
Yeah.
Great. It's nice to have you. Thanks for coming.
No, it's nice to be here.
But anyway.
Give us.
See if you can do this off the top of your head.
Shit. But anyway, you can leave a review on your podcast platform of choice.
Yes.
We're available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatever floats your boat. Audible, is that a thing?
No,
it's not. No, not Audible. Don't go to Audible.
It already helps.
Yeah, all really helps. Get your mates to sign up. Get your cat a subscription, whatever. Patreon. No, that's your bit. Maybe. Go to Patreon. If you want to get us, you can find us at Rewind Classic Movies. Is our username? Not username. Yeah. Well, YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and
not Twitter.
No, we're not on Twitter. No, not Twitter. X, not X.
We're not on there
we
either.
don't do that. TikTok.
Yes.
Facebook. YouTube.
That's
just that.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
TikTok. Right. Rewind Classic Movies.
What if people want to drop us an email?
If they want to drop us an email, it's rewindclassicmovies@gmail.com.
There you go.
And we do like a sack full of mail.
Yep. Right, that's the show. Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Yes.
If you want to come hang out, get behind the scenes updates, bonus content, or early access to any of the episodes, then head over to our Patreon, where you can get a backlot pass for just $5 a month. You can join me and AJ next week for the main Rewind show, when we are going to 1984.
Oh, it must be, or 83 or 84.
Supergirl.
Tim Curry. Oh, no, sorry, no, Supergirl. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sorry, I was,
Yes.
Yeah.
For another one of my female crushes, Helen Slater in Supergirl. I can't wait. Sorry about this. Say goodbye, AJ.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.